The golden sun rose over the vast expanse of the Serengeti, painting the endless grasslands in hues of amber and gold. Birds chirped in the crisp morning air, and a gentle breeze rustled through the acacia trees. Among the tall grasses, a lioness named Nia and her playful cub, Jabari, had made this corner of the wilderness their home. Jabari, no older than a few months, pounced and tumbled around his mother's feet, his bright golden eyes filled with curiosity and wonder. For days, Nia and Jabari had roamed this part of the savanna, free and unbothered by the dangers that lurked beyond the tall grass. Jabari had begun testing his limits, eager to explore the world around him. That morning, his keen eyes locked onto the trunk of a tall, sturdy tree. A new challenge, an adventure waiting to unfold. Nia watched as her cub crept toward the tree, his tiny claws digging into the bark. His first few attempts were clumsy, but with each try, he climbed higher, his confidence growing. The mother lion observed, but did not interfere. This was part of learning, of survival. But she did not see the danger looming above. A sudden gust of wind rattled the branches. Jabari hesitated, gripping the bark tightly, but the dry branch beneath him could not bear his weight. With a loud crack, it snapped, sending the cub tumbling down. The world seemed to slow as Nia's ears twitched at the sharp sound, her heart pounding. Jabari crashed onto the hard ground, letting out a weak, pained cry. Nia's roar shattered the morning silence, a cry of desperation as she sprinted to his side. The little cub groaned, trying to stand, but his small body collapsed under the pain. His tiny frame quivered, his hind legs swollen and twisted unnaturally. Nia's heart pounded like a drum, each beat echoing the urgency of the moment. Jabari's shallow breaths were a cruel reminder of time slipping away. She gazed at the horizon, an endless sea of grass, searching for any sign of help. The harsh reality of nature weighed heavily on her. A wounded cub was a beacon for predators. Hyenas, their calls a chilling promise of death. Leopards, swift and silent hunters. Even the fierce lions, driven by survival, would seize this opportunity. She had to protect Jabari, to become his fortress against the merciless wild. Please show your support by liking and commenting 1 to give this lion cub a chance to survive. Every wasted moment brought him closer to tragedy. Nia's gaze softened as she looked at her son, his small body trembling, his eyes clouded with pain. She couldn't bear the thought of losing him, of watching his life be extinguished before it had truly begun. A mother's instinct, fierce and unwavering, burned within her. She would defy all odds, challenge the very laws of nature, to save her child. She recalled the stories told by the old lions in the pride, tales of strange two-legged creatures, hunters with compassion. She had never believed in those stories, but now she had no other choice. She decided to seek them out, those two-legged beings who might help Jabari. It was a risky decision, but she had nothing left to lose. Gently, she took Jabari by the scruff of his neck, careful not to hurt him, and began her perilous journey. She would seek hope, search for help for her son, no matter how treacherous the path ahead. Nia lowered her head, gently taking Jabari by the scruff of his neck. She could feel his shallow breaths against her fur. Step by step, she moved forward, careful not to jostle him, her instincts warring with fear. The unknown was dangerous, but she had no other choice. Miles away, deep in the heart of the reserve, a group of rangers patrolled the land in their open-roof vehicle. Leading the team was Daniel, an experienced ranger who had spent years studying the wildlife of the Serengeti. He had seen many things: poachers, rescues, life and death playing out in the wild, but nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to witness. As the Jeep rumbled over a dirt path, Daniel's keen eyes caught a figure in the distance. At first, he thought it was just another lioness on the prowl. But something was off. She was coming toward them, and she was carrying something. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. "Everyone, stay alert," he warned his team. "Something's not right." The vehicle slowed as Nia stepped into the clearing, her golden coat shimmering under the sun. She walked with careful precision, her muscles taut with tension. Daniel's breath hitched when he saw the small, motionless cub dangling from her jaws. "Is she bringing him to us?" one of the rangers whispered, disbelief evident in his voice. The lioness approached, her powerful frame moving with uncharacteristic caution. Then, to their utter astonishment, she placed Jabari gently onto the ground in front of the vehicle and took a step back. Her amber eyes locked onto Daniel's, and for a brief moment, an unspoken understanding passed between them. She was asking for help. Daniel slowly opened the door, his pulse racing. The mother lion remained still, her muscles coiled like springs, ready to strike if necessary. But she did not growl. She did not bare her fangs. She only watched. Daniel moved cautiously, lowering himself to the cub's level. Jabari barely stirred, his breathing shallow. His leg was swollen, bruises spreading along his small body. "It's hurt bad," he muttered, "but I don't think anything's broken." He turned to his team. "First aid kit. Now." One of the rangers tossed in the medical bag, and Daniel pulled out antiseptic wipes and bandages. Every move he made was slow, deliberate. He knew the mother lion was watching his every breath. The slightest mistake could turn her from desperate to deadly. Nia let out a low, rumbling growl as Daniel reached for her cub, but she did not move. A warning, not a threat. He nodded slightly, acknowledging her fear, then gently pressed the antiseptic against Jabari's leg. The cub flinched, but did not cry out. Minutes passed like hours. The rangers worked in tense silence, dressing the wound, injecting a mild painkiller, ensuring the cub was stabilized. Daniel glanced up at the mother lion, whose gaze never wavered from her child. The moment was surreal, wild and human, predator and protector, working together for the sake of life. Finally, Daniel sat back, the tension slowly draining from his shoulders. "He'll be okay," he murmured, more to reassure himself than anyone else. "He just needs rest." The air hung thick with anticipation, the silence broken only by the soft rustling of the savanna grasses. As if she understood the unspoken words, Nia stepped forward, her massive head lowering to nuzzle her cub. Jabari stirred slightly, a fragile movement, letting out a soft, weak purr. Relief washed over Daniel like a cool wave, a tangible release of the anxiety that had gripped him. He slowly backed away, creating a respectful distance, giving mother and child the space they desperately needed. The team waited, breath held, their eyes fixed on the tender scene unfolding before them. Nia gently nudged her cub, encouraging him to stand. He wobbled, unsteady but determined, his small body fighting against weakness. She let out a soft, encouraging rumble, a low, maternal sound that resonated deep within the heart of the bush. Jabari tried again, this time standing for longer, his legs trembling, before leaning into his mother's side for support. A collective sigh of relief rippled through the rangers, a shared moment of profound gratitude. Then, the most unexpected thing happened, a moment that would forever be etched in their memories. Nia turned her gaze back to Daniel, her eyes locking with his. For a brief moment, she simply looked at him, her expression conveying a depth of emotion that transcended species. Then, she let out a soft, brief roar, a sound not of threat, but of profound gratitude, a raw expression of thanks that echoed through the stillness of the savanna. And just like that, with a regal grace, she gathered her cub and slowly walked away, disappearing into the golden grasses, leaving behind a silence charged with emotion. The rangers sat in stunned silence, the weight of what had just occurred sinking in, a moment of extraordinary connection. Daniel finally exhaled, shaking his head in disbelief, his eyes filled with wonder. "That," he whispered, his voice barely audible, "was something I'll never forget." The moment served as a powerful reminder of the intricate bond between humans and the wild, a testament to the unspoken language of compassion and respect. The story of Nia and Jabari became a legend, whispered around campfires, and shared in hushed tones. It reminded us that the wild isn't just a place of survival, it's a place of connection. It showed us that even the fiercest of creatures have a language of their own, a language of need, of gratitude, and of love. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more incredible tales of the wild.